Welcome! We have an amazing video about essential oils with...
Hi, my name is Olga Divakova.
And today we have a cuteness overload or overdose or something incredibly cute in the end of the video. So stay tuned for that.
So cute, so cute.
Here we have an amazing woman, one of my best friends in the world, and like, I don't know where to start. Olga Divakova. She's like a super expert when it comes to plant-based, like anything, like the herbs, the plants, the oils. I just go to Olga for advice on a lot of things. Yeah, you're one of the most kindest and wisest and compassionate and just, I just respect you so deeply, and I'm so happy to have you here, and I'm so glad on everyone's behalf that we get to talk with Olga today.
Yay! I'm so happy that I can share some of my ultra geekness on essential oils.
Yeah, because that's the theme today. We're talking essential oils, and well, we're talking about how she uses them and to have like more tips and more inspiration.
Yeah, so I grew up in Canada, but I was born in Russia to Russian parents. And I've lived in Norway for over 10 years now, and I've worked as a dancer previously. Dance and fitness has been my career, and I felt about 6 years ago a shift where I realized I want to work more with something along wellness, and essential oils just popped into my life. Yeah, so the timing was like it just all clicked. Awesome. And my first experience was really interesting. I was at a meditation retreat, so a silence retreat, and we'd been in deep meditation. I haven't spoken to people, my phone was put away, you're just logged off. And I opened up a bottle of lavender that lovely Ellen had with her at the retreat, and I smelled it, and the reaction, I felt like an explosion in my brain of just what is happening.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible, because when you're that deep and in silence, you're also a lot more sensitive.
And how, like you say, an explosion in your brain.
Yeah.
Like what? What was
okay.
like that like?
So basically, it was, to use the word, it was in a sense orgasmic, because the...
Wow.
Yeah, because the kind of the pleasure and the beauty and sensuality of smell, it affects us on so many levels. Smells are molecules. It's a physical thing. So when I open up this bottle of magnolia, for example, let's just drop this.
Yeah.
When
I just got very inspired to smell some oils. You talk like that, like wow.
Yeah, so
they're amazing.
Magnolia is just sensational. It's so sweet.
This is Motivate, one of my favorites at the moment.
That's a blend, whereas this is just one plant, Magnolia. Motivate has several different plants mixed together. Yeah, so when you smell anything, for example an essential oil, you're smelling in molecules, and those molecules go up into your brain, to your olfactory and to the limbic system. All your memories and your feelings can be triggered. They're stored in that part of the brain. We'll post a video on that so you can see the science behind it yourself.
Yes.
And that can cause a cascade of reactions, hormonal reactions, because emotions equal hormones. Everyone knows the typical thing with stress. It's a feeling, an emotion. It comes from an emotional state, and then you get a very physical reaction, the chemistry with the cortisol, the adrenaline. So it's very interesting to learn about the science and how this affects the brain.
Yeah, and for us who are very nerdy, like me and like you, it's so cool because there's more and more research coming out, and of course I'm not a person who, when I have an experience that something works, that I wait for science, but finally it's here. Like I mentioned in videos before, I started meditation and yoga before it was mainstream, so hipster, but like it's so important that we actually do what works for us, and finally science can kind of tusle etterpå, sakte. No, but like they can walk slowly and kind of catch up, to be a little bit sassy, but yeah, it's true. Like this is
It's true.
something we've been using for thousands of years, and let's get back to nature.
Yeah, actually, essential oils are mentioned in the Bible.
Mm.
And the coolest thing in ancient Egypt, one of the queens when they excavated, her living space or tomb or something. I have to look that up for the details. But
Yeah.
basically, they found an ancient little bottle that was hers of myrrh essential oil.
Wow.
Or some people call it myrrh. I think myrrh is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Myrrh. But yeah, and it was quoted that she used myrrh on her skin so that it would glow with the golden sheen of the sun. So already in ancient Egypt, they were taking advantage of these incredible, huge variety of plants that we have on this earth.
I've even heard that when they dig up oil bottles from like long time ago, they still smell.
Yeah.
So it's like, they have a longitude of just being precious forever. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're extremely they're preservatives in and of themselves.
Yeah.
And ancient Egypt knowledge again. So in the accounts of Anubis, doing the embalming process, the mummification, guess what they used? Essential oils. That was the oils that they used in the bodies to make them last.
Okay, let's go over to something very practical for
us.
The living.
The living.
Yeah. So how do you use them?
One of my all-time favorite oils. I mean, everyone who's into essential oils, you have like a new favorite every day or every month. You got the flavor of the week type of thing going.
Yeah, that is true.
But some oils, they're just constantly there. And this is one for me. This is the brilliant copaiba. And I just love knowing that it comes from wild harvested copaiba trees, and they tap them sustainably so they don't take more than what the tree can give to be able to still be healthy. And there's a video on it where they take a boat and they travel out to the forest to tap this. Basically, this oil, it's typically used for soothing all kind of inflammatory responses in the body, and thus for soothing pain.
Yeah.
So when I have pain, copaiba is my oil. And smelling it triggers already a soothing response in my body.
Can I have some?
Yeah, do you want to drop on your hands?
Yes, please.
So we're going to show you how to do the simplest aromatherapy technique. You take a drop in the palm of your hands, rub it together, cup your hands like this.
And just from breathing, it's just so relaxing. And then you have the essential oil to make that, like 1,000 times more, relaxation inducing.
Yeah, there's a reason that you go to spas and get aromatherapy, and they use it in saunas, and smell is a really, really important sense in our body.
This copaiba, short, amazing thing is that someone I know has chronic pains and had that for her entire life, on and off, and this is the thing that has helped her to have less, and to be able to give that to somebody who's been struggling their entire life is just so valuable to me that I don't know what to say, It's crazy to me.
Yeah, and the thing is, the reason why I'm so passionate about using plants where I can in the place of pharmaceuticals is that when you have a little ache and pain, when you've got, a headache, it is common knowledge that ebooks and so ibuprofen and paracetamol, that they do a lot of damage in our body. I mean, the warnings are on the packages and in the descriptions, but also all the research that comes out that's not written there about how it disrupts hormones, and just all synthetic medications they come with side effects, as important and useful as they are. But when you have little ailments that you can use a natural remedy for,
Yes.
to at least reduce some of the load that you're putting on your body, that you have synthetic medication that you have to use. There are times in your life where you need that.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah, it's an and consciousness. Like, it's not about just interrupt. Like,
No, it's good.
It's not. It's not about like this is the only path. It's not about being fundamentalist in the sense that I'm only going to go for for medicine, or I'm only going to use alternative or plant-based or oil.
even just using the diet and lifestyle, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. It's like, for me, it's so important how we can, or for us, it's so important how we can see the lifestyle as the groundwork for everything, and then, you know, support our immune system, our life in many different ways. And when we have to, we have, of course, medicine and how the doctor can help us in, you know, and that system. That's amazing. Like, of course, that's amazing. But it's just, it would be so cool if we could actually integrate the old amazing wisdom in an intellectual and sustainable and just fun way as well. 'Cause we love fun.
We love fun.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And what's important, the wisdom is knowing when to use what. And if you've got a headache and you've got an ache and pain, and you can just, you know, use an extract from a plant that works, that doesn't have side effects, awesome. You're relieving your body of some of that burden and that toxic load that again makes you stronger to be able to handle your stresses that you can't run away from, you know, to be able to handle an injury that just happens to you. It's knowing what to use when, and just being open-minded and not closing off, for example, not being like, oh, I don't trust doctors and I'm never going to take anything. Just understanding that there's a place for everything. Yes, I like that. I love that. This is Deep Blue Rub. This is also something that a lot of people enjoy using for different aches and pains, inflammations, supporting the joints and the muscles. Everyone knows a muscle rub, like an athletic after training kind of rub, or if you've got, you know, a sprained muscle, you have these age-old stuff like these cold creams or these heating creams. This is basically our version of it, where it's based on essential oils and it's mixed into a cream base. One of the things that I found so fascinating in my research of different plants is the wintergreen oil. So it's the main oil inside the Deep Blue Rub that really has that soothing, relieving property, both for pain and inflammation. And wintergreen has a chemical component that they actually replicated and synthesized in a lab and called aspirin. So the wintergreen plant naturally produces natural aspirin, and a lot of our medication is inspired by nature, and we try to synthesize chemical components that are, you know, created naturally in this environment that we have. Using essential oils, you have base oils like this, coconut. You can, a lot of typical base oils are like almond, avocado oil, you name it. So when you mix essential oils into neutral oils, or when you have them mixed into a cream, that's the best way to apply it topically. Because
like on your skin.
On your skin. Rub it on. Because if I put a pure essential oil on my skin directly, the molecules are so volatile, they just want to be in movement, so they actually diffuse off my skin, and I don't keep enough of them on the skin to maybe get the effect that I want. So I always dilute my oils when I put them topically on my skin to make sure that there's this base oil or cream that keeps the essential oil on my skin to help it work and just go deeper and stay there.
So if you use a base oil, when you put an oil topically, it also works more locally in that area. And if you do choose to not blend it with a base oil like coconut or almond or any other that works for you, then there are some places on the body where it's more it goes directly into the bloodstream, and so it's very effective. And some places are underneath your feet because of the pores are very like they're open, and it's really easy to absorb the oil from there into the bloodstream. Putting the oils on your feet is a gentle way, because
it's the far extremities of your body, right?
Yeah, true. Another place is on the back, where the spine is. So when we do an aroma touch, for example, like a massage technique where you use essential oils, that's the reason why we drip it down the spine, because it absorbs really easily.
Yeah, and we have thinner skin in certain areas of the body, like the wrists, for example. It's very typical for essential oil users that when they love the perfume aspect of it, that it smells nice, they'll apply it here, and what happens is the rest of your body smells. It will smell then in the rest of your body, because these oils, they travel. The molecules are so tiny that they get into everywhere. They're just like spreading around when it's a good quality oil.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, speaking of the gentle application on the bottoms of your feet, so I've got a good friend of mine that used oregano on the bottoms of her feet, and half an hour later her boyfriend comes home from work and they have a kiss, and he tastes the oregano in her mouth, and he's like,
wow.
"Oh, you taste like pizza." And a lot of people will actually, there's a woman in Norway
wow.
who has lost her sense of smell entirely from the overuse of nose sprays,
wow.
pharmaceutical nose sprays, yeah. And so she can't smell the oils, but she'll put them under her feet, and then she'll taste in her mouth the oil.
Wow.
So then that's another example of just how much they travel.
Yes, thank you.
Unless you want to smell like an orange everywhere.
Yeah, like, let's go.
Yeah.
You wanted to share a little bit about when you started to use the oils. How was that for you?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about essential oils, so I just experimented as I went, like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But now there's so much education out there, so please educate yourself first.
Yes, please.
Respect the oils, because they are powerful,
Potent.
potent.
Like, they have, there's so many amazing ways to use them, but we actually gotta learn how. Okay, so that's why we're making this video.
Yeah, respect the oils, because they can burn you if you put a strong oil on your face without diluting it.
Yeah. Or the sun sensitivity, if you have a citrus oil or a blend with citrus, 12 hours you need to not be in the sun. So yeah, that's really important now for the summer. There are things that we need to know, basically.
Yeah, I actually managed to get a really big brown sunspot on my thigh, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get all nice and toned, and I put like grapefruit everywhere, and then I went tanning, and so I got like this horrible sunspot. Yeah, so citrus oils and sunlight do not mix.
No, it's for real.
It's for real. And I also had an incident where I was in the shower, and I had recently called my upline, and I'm like, hey, so I have this lemongrass. What can I use it for? Like, okay, it smells nice, but what else? And he's like, oh, you can apply it topically on your skin. And I'm like, oh, in the shower, dripping myself with lavender and rubbing it in. No, sorry, lemongrass. Yeah. Rubbing it in, and it burned.
Oh my god.
And I was like internally screaming. I was like, and it was hot water, so my pores were open, and lemongrass is so spicy.
And I did that with this one.
In the shower?
No, but after.
That's just as bad.
Because I was so, because it works really well when you've been like overtraining or your muscles are like super stiff. It really works wonders. But seriously, you just need like this much. Like, it's so tiny what you need of amount. And it's really important to just do a little bit and then wait, because some of the oils uses like, or particularly the rub, like 5 minutes, 3 minutes before you can tell whether or not to put more on. So, because if not, you're gonna feel like a moron, because it's gonna burn or it's gonna not. But don't get frightened. Just be a little bit careful. That's all.
It's just about respecting it and just knowing that these are potent, ultra concentrated, powerful extracts.
Yes.
Don't joke around.
No. And even if you've been trying different other brands, it's like doTERRA is amazing, and they might be a lot more or they're not diluted, and just be a little bit careful and just mindful, basically.
Mindful. But you were saying, use respect. I when I first smelled the oil and I told about that wonderful experience I had, that cascading reaction, and I felt in my entire body, and I basically clung to the oils. At the time I was experiencing a really heavy fatigue and all the emotional issues that come with not being able to do your work, not being able to go out and meet people, not being able to live your life or take care of yourself properly. The oils were like this little friend that I had beside my bedside, for example, that when I smelled, I felt that I was in a forest. So when you smell a plant and you smell that essence of it, you really, it does something to you. It transports you to a better place. So I'm really passionate these days about the emotional healing aspect, just because at the time I didn't know anything about it. I just felt how it worked for me and how important these oils were just sniffing them, you know, when I was in that place of fatigue. So they, to me, in short, beauty. It's beauty because it's nature distilled into a bottle, and that is the most beautiful. I mean, we have nature right here, but when you're laying in bed and you're sick, bring the nature into your home if you can.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about for me. It's plants. I mean,
yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I really appreciate. And I was at a doTERRA. I want to share this. I was at a doTERRA convention, and it was a similar story of a man that I started talking to was sat right next to me or behind me, and I asked him how he got into doTERRA, and he had tried everything, and he had been depressed for a long time, and he just didn't know what to do. And he started diffusing the oils, and I'm not saying that this is going to help for everything in the entire cosmos, but I'm just saying that, you know, our brain and our sense of smell, all our senses, what we experience, the new experiences that we have, and how the like the chemistry, the neural pathways, all of these things, our emotions, our hormones, they're so linked. And for him, he was just transformed, and that's why he told me, like, with passion in his eyes, like I can remember it was just like, oh my god, this was the thing that helped him. And he was like, I have to work with this information needs to get out. And that's why I wanted as well. Like, my health was shit, like it was horrible, and I didn't know what to do because the doctor didn't find anything. And then I started using On Guard, and suddenly I wasn't sick all the time. So they can really, really help in so many ways. And yeah, I'm not going to keep that information anymore. I want it out. I want for people to know that they exist, because this is important stuff, and it's so empowering. Like, we need a world where we can use nature and we can take care of nature at the same time, and that's what we're doing.
Yes, and having that relationship with plants, that we understand that they actually have a chemistry in them that is so compatible with our bodies, that can help us with infections, with, you know, and help alleviate all kind of symptoms. It is really going back to our roots and respecting that nature does have so much. We don't need to put our health into the hands of other people, that we can actually take some aspects of our own wellness back into our own hands.
And
like you explained. And that's so empowering.
It's so important that we live like a life that's rich in every sense.
Wow, that's like deep in every sense and sense. Well, look at mindfulness, right? What do they do? Go back to your senses. Find something you can smell, find something you can touch, find something you can hear. What can you see with your eyes? You know, tactile. So it's all about getting back into your body to live a life where you're less in your stress modus and can get back into the parasympathetic, the calm, where you can digest your food better, you can sleep better, blah blah blah. This is like everybody needs it. Oh, we have a surprise for you.
We also have a surprise. Like, the first time I saw this amazing being, look.
So her name is Panther, as you can see, very well fitted name for this beautiful, fierce.
When we're talking amazing gems from nature, here we have one of the absolute best in the entire universe.
Oh yes, this is love in a fur ball.
Yeah. So with all the love that we have for oils and Panther
and for the back of this amazing shirt,
of course. we're really cool today. Like, we are always, but especially today. We want you all to have an amazing day as well, and be curious about what exists in nature that you might not have known about before or tried yourself. So let's explore nature and see what we find, shall we?
Plant magic.
Yes.